Zahra and I'm at Alessandra apartment, and we're here tonight with my team members, my lovely team members, and we are gonna cook Iranian cuisine food, and I'm gonna introduce to you what we're gonna do. First of all, we're gonna have a glass of wine just to relax, and then we're gonna start cooking. I'm making Fesenjoon. Fesenjoon is one of the most delicious foods in Iranian cuisine and is very, very precious. If you go to Iranian home and they make you Fesenjoon, it means they really love you. So you should be feeling very, very precious and special. So Fesenjoon is walnut. The main ingredients is walnut. It can be cooked with turkey, which is traditionally, turkey is one of the best meat that goes with Fesenjoon. So it's actually a very good dish during our Thanksgiving time. Or it can be done by chicken. It takes less time to use the chicken. Or it can be ground beef, small meatballs, beef inside of it. Tonight we decided with the chicken. But this dish, the good thing about it, it can be vegan or vegetarian, and you can add the meat after you prepare the main part of the dish. Walnut, and we need the pomegranate sauce. So pomegranate sauce is a very important part of it, and saffron, and of course the cinnamon, some turmeric, and pepper and salt. So what we're going to do first, we start with grinding our walnut, and after it's done, I will show you how it should look. As you can see, with the processor, we grind our walnut, and we make sure it's not too fine. And if you see inside this pot, as you can see, it's fine, but it's not too fine. So you actually taste a little bit of the walnut under your teeth. So that's it. Now, after we grinding our walnut, we put it in a pot. You don't need any oil because walnut by itself is pretty oily. So what you do, you need to stir it a little bit, very softly. You have to be on it all the time. You can't leave it on the stove and go away and answer your cell phone. It's not happening, because if it's gonna burn, you have to throw it out and start all over. So please keep in mind, you have to constantly do this until it's very lightly change the color and it's roasted. So as you can see, we are going to be on top of this dish. It's very important that you are constantly doing this and you don't let this burn, because remember, if it burns, you have to throw it out. It changes the taste and it's not going to be good for using anymore. So please do this very carefully. The Iranian dishes or cuisine, the very important point of it is you have to be very patient. Time is the essence, and time is the whole reason behind the taste and the whole delicious taste of our Iranian dishes. So after this is done, it's almost 10 to 15 minutes take this part of it, which is very important in this dish. We add some water to this now. A little bit of the saffron. And now we do part of the saffron you want to use into the dish now, and the other part you do it after, like later on when you add the meat to it. So we don't do all together right same time. So now this won't burn anymore because of the water in there. It's very helpful. You make sure it's like not sticky together. The walnut is right even up, make sure it's not sticking together. So we're gonna open this one pomegranate. I buy this from the paste from the Iranian supermarket, but you can find it into Indian supermarket as well, and it's amazingly good, tasty, and make sure it's a good taste. Taste it, and you like the taste to add it before you use it in your food. For those of you who don't know what's saffron and how to use it, this is how it looks like, and it has a beautiful aroma, and we usually mix it with the rose water. So in this case, I already grind it. So as you can see, it's already grinded. So I use the grinded saffron into my dish because it's much easier to use. And as you can see, the moment you add it to your food, you see how it actually mixes without any problem. So now we have almost a glass of a cup for this sauce. It depends how thick is your sauce, the pomegranate sauce. So I usually don't measure things, I go with my eyes, and but I don't recommend the same thing to you guys. If it is your first time you're doing this, make sure don't overdo it, go slowly and mix. The moment you mix this sauce, the color of your dish changes, it becomes darker, and the more it cooks, the darker it becomes. So remember, we do a cup and we let this get mixed up, and we let it cook very slow heat, very low heat, and cook slowly, and then we go and prepare our meat to add to it. So now it's almost, done. We added the paste, or pomegranate paste. At this part, we're gonna add a few golden plum. These are very famous in Iran, very tasty, one of the best you've ever tried. But be careful, they have their seeds in there, so it's very dangerous. You need to let your guests know that they have to be careful when they bite into this. So add a few, and then just add a little bit of a cinnamon. The 1 teaspoon is more than enough. A little bit of salt. And the black pepper. It's always good to add. All right. Be good. So we do this. We let it just cook very low heat, and we're going to go start with our meat, which would be the chicken for this dish. So this is good. We let it just like this. So don't close it completely because it's not too much water in there. You don't want it too much heat. Very low heat, and keep it open so it doesn't steam too fast. And I'll show you a little bit of a trick. Some people use the plum, some they do the fruit roll-up. As you can see, these are homemade. It came from Iran. Very tasty, sour, and a little sweet, healthy, no salt added. So I like to add a little bit to my dish, makes it very tasty and unique. You don't have to do a lot, but then just a little bit, and it will melt by itself in there. And as I said, let it cook, and it will be delicious. Fesenjoon. As I told you, you can use turkey, chicken, or beef. but ground beef like small meatballs. But I prefer chicken because it's faster, tasty, and I like chicken better than turkey, honestly. But a lot of people prefer turkey. So it's nothing here because they are prepared. I use thigh or legs mostly because the meat is tastier and less dry. A lot of people use for Fesenjoon because it's already very oily dish. They use the breast. So it's very personal. Whatever you like to use, it's fine. So we have this, and after we put everything, it's already skinned, so it's very ready to go. And with the Iranian dishes, we don't do small dishes. At least I don't. Because the good thing about it, the leftover of Persian food or Iranian dishes, Iranian cuisine, are so good. So you can always have more and cook more and have it for tomorrow. And some of our guests already brought their pot. They take it home with them. So I am going to go to the kitchen and do the start. So now the chicken already. We're going to put oil into the pot, some salt, turmeric. Turmeric, don't be shy to use it. It's really good for you and makes food really good. And definitely make sure when you use turmeric, you do black pepper. Black pepper is a must. If you have the ground one, it's better, easier to use. And some chili powder, cumin, cinnamon, and all these good spices. So I like to add a little bit of cumin, cinnamon, and some chili pepper. So we need one of these. I'm gonna need this. Alright. So we turn it on. Sorry, I'm not in my kitchen, so I need help to get around. Our hostess tonight, she loves this dish, so this is for her. Okay, if you look in here closer, would you please show this dish closer? As you can see, it's starting, the oil starting to come up surface, the dish. That shows you it's getting ready, it's there. And the more it cooks this dish, it gets more delicious. So if you have time, let it do this for an hour at least, and that makes it even better the more. So now we have this. We need the onion. All right. So we saute the onion into the spices first. Make it a little bit higher. So makes this faster. Whenever I do this, when I do it with the oil, I like to add, as I mentioned, a little bit of a butter to my dish. Whenever I saute something, I like to add butter to our So you make sure this is happening for a few minutes, and then after it's on the way, we add our meat to it. So it's done. I forgot to get rid of these extra we're gonna let this for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we add the water, and if any more spices we can always add, and then we add it after it's cooked. We add it to our walnut mix over here. So for the time being, this is good. We let it work, and after it's cooked, we come back and we show you how we mix them all together. Chicken is almost half cooked. It's not completely cooked. This is when I like to put them together, and when you mix them, you let them cook together for another half hour. It makes it tastier. It lets the whole ingredients, you know, mix better and taste better. So as I said, you can use this before adding the meat. You can take it out, and for anybody in your household who's vegetarian, and use it as like that, or do the separate, you know, dishes, and then mix the meat after you take away for your vegetarian family member. So now it's done, and so now this goes in here. Perfect. We mix it. We let this whole thing come together beautifully, and it's going to need quite half an hour or more to get together. So after we mix it, we make sure they're all even up. Done. We cover it, we let it come to the boil, and on a low heat, then we let it, the extra water steam out, and becomes as lovely as it looks before. This is good. But a lot of water, it has to go, all the juice, the chicken water needs to get more reduced. So, as you can see, the chickens in there, the juice, it still needs to get more reduced. So we're gonna go a little bit higher. And I think maybe in 20 minutes we will be back and the food is ready. So we're back, we're checking on our dish. It's actually almost there. It's getting there. Just wanted you to know this dish is supposed to be sweet and sour, but a lot of people don't like it sweet, so you can actually add the sugar or not. So it's very, as I said, it's your choice to do it, but I like it because the traditional dish is actually sweet and sour, and I like to add a little bit of a sugar, not too much. A few spoons is plenty, and it's good. So we do that, and as you can see, it's coming together. I tasted it, it's really good, and almost ready. Now we're back to our stew, Fesenjoon. It's ready. As you can see how the oil is on the surface. As I mentioned, that tells you it's beautifully came together. It's ready to go. This is lovely and ready, and voila, let's go. Dinner is served. Hello, everyone.
I have that thing over here. Hold on.
Hi. All right.
Here.
Voila. Thank you, Kisha Jaan, for taking the video all this time for me. And you could not be in the movie for us. So I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna have you in here and I'll take the video, the rest of it. Come on in. Everybody, please, bon appetit, enjoy. She was doing the videotaping through the whole time, and that's my lovely friend Elizabeth, our lovely friend Simone, and the hostess and the mostess, Alessandra da Silva. Well, welcome everybody. I hope you enjoy. Bon appetit. And خواهش میکنم از غذای امشب لذت ببرید. And that was in Farsi. Okay.
This is in the bloopers.
Don't do that. She's recording you.